Here's Shamari right now. We're bringing him into the fold while we get him all queued up. Let me give him the proper introduction. He hails from Chester, Virginia, Thomas Dale High School. He is the number 9 cornerback in the country, the number 67 player overall. He is a sprint champ. He is a long jump champ. I think he's the freakiest athlete in the class. He might be the freakiest athlete in the country. I think he's just scratching the surface of what he is going to be. I look at this young man, and you know who I see when I see the player comp? I see Jalen Ramsey.
I like
Now,
it.
now, will it work out that way? I'm not trying to put pressure on the young fella. I'm just talking about high school version. High school version. This is a player comp. Now, we'll see what he develops into. He's Shamari Earls. Right now, he's Shamari Earls. But what does his game look like? He's the high school version of Jalen Ramsey to me. And that's who joins us on the show right now. One, Mr. Shamari Earls. Shamari, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, and you?
Hey, man. Glad that you can join us. And congratulations on officially becoming a Wolverine.
Thank you. Thank you. It feels good. It feels good.
Yeah, man. So long time coming is finally here, man. Does it feel like a relief, or I mean, how does it finally feel to finally be done?
It feels really good. It feels like all the pressure's off my back. I can just go in and work now.
I hear that. So first things first, let's rewind the tape. I know we talked about it already, but
Yeah.
what was it that led you to this point? Because I know you liked Michigan before. You came up on a visit after the South Carolina thing. You commit to Georgia, but you kept looking, and then eventually decide to flip to the Wolverines. What was it that led you to that point? To say, hey, man, you know what? Michigan is the place.
I think the relationship with Coach Morgan, honestly, and just reevaluating my options, like just little things, probably education wise, and want to build my own thing instead of going somewhere that's already kind of built and established.
Now, you say the relationship with Coach Morgan. Your vibe with him, man, seems like it's on a different and deeper level. So, can you talk about your relationship with Coach Lamar?
So he came out and see me when he first got the job. He offered me. I wasn't really too big on him, but me and my dad liked him as a person because he's really smart and knows what he's talking about. So he gave him a chance, and it's just that we can talk about anything. He hits me up. We relate to so much things, and it's just we have the same mindset, like the same goal, especially with other people too.
And so, he's a dude that it seems like his persistence really got you. Because I know at first, like you told the stories, like, man, I really didn't pay attention.
Yeah,
You said when he first came, you really didn't pay attention to him. And then, but he kept on. He stayed on you. And then the same thing kind of happened when you committed to Georgia. He kind of stayed on you. So like he's one of those dudes that just kind of stayed persistent.
yeah, he was. He's probably the most persistent out of everybody.
And so what about his coaching style, man? I wonder once you actually saw him coach in a game, what did you think about his coaching style?
He's definitely a teacher. Like he's not. I mean, coaches yell here and there, but he's not the one to yell shit off. Like in a game, he never yells. In practice, yeah, he'll yell, but in game, a play happens, he's not gonna bash you on it because that can, as a DB, if stuff like that, you gotta move on next play mentality. And he's a guy who's gonna come after the drive's over, coach you up. Next drive, they're back at it, and you can see the improvement in DBs.
Yeah, and that was another thing, man, to watch over the course of the season and see guys get better.
That was my favorite. I told him that the other day.
Yeah, and so yeah, man, I mean, you could really see it like guys like Zeke Berry, Makari Page, like the secondary got a lot better over the course of the year, and then they beat Ohio State. So I'm curious as you watched them as a player. I mean, were you watching Michigan along the way? Were you really paying attention, or was it really after you committed that you start watching?
Now I was watching the whole way. There's
Oh,
only two people I'll be watching was Georgia and Michigan.
okay, all right. So you said you told him the other day that you kind of noticed that too, that the DBs got a lot better.
Yes, sir, I did. He said they've been working, and with our class coming in, we're gonna be unstoppable. Best
Okay.
secondary, not even the Big Ten, the whole college football. I promise you, we gonna have the best secondary.
Yeah, so you said something to me that really stuck out during your recruitment. You said you look at secondaries
Mm.
and you wanted to go someplace where they need you, not where they not just they want me. I want to go someplace where where I know they need me. So could you sense that when you looked at Michigan, where you're like, hey man, I know if I go there, they need me and I can be developed. Could you see that as you look more and more at the situation?
Yeah, of course. So, with Will leaving and a lot of senior heaven in, we got Zeke Berry, I think, is a redshirt sophomore. You got Jair Hill's a sophomore. But other than that, all the guys are leaving. I think Rob Moore's coming back for another year, but most of the corner wise are leaving. So I seen it as an opportunity, like, yeah, they need DBs, and it's a big class coming in. So took the opportunity.
All right. And so the other thing you did that I noticed, number two, man, that number two, that's a rich and deep legacy. I mean, was that something you requested or something
Not
they suggested? How did that all go down?
They suggested it, and I was like, "Nah, y'all wouldn't do that." And it was talked to Charles Woodson and Will, and they honored it to me. So I was like, "I mean, it's an honor to wear a number. I want to continue the legacy of of number two being the lockdown corner." So I originally wanted 8 or 0. It didn't really matter, but I was like, I'll wear 2. I keep the
Okay.
legacy going.
Okay. All right. So listen, I said when I watch you,
Mhm.
Jalen Ramsey, because I see the physical attributes. I mean, you have the size, the length, the speed. You can flip your hips. I mean, it's all the same sort of characteristics, but I want you to talk about you. So if you were watching you're watching Shamari Earls.
Mhm.
You break down your game. I mean, talk about your skill set, what you bring to the table, and who would you compare yourself to?
My skill set, I got length and range and speed and IQ, and I wasn't always like this. I took a lot of I think I switched to DB freshman in the freshman year. I work constantly, being a long corner, the downside we can't move like smaller corners, so people look at us as like a risk kind of. But I practice in my I like to practice like especially like hips. Like this hard thing is a tall corner. So I just practice and try to be perfect at what I do, and it paid off. But I'm gonna agree with Coach Morgan here. I feel like I compare more to Tariq Woolen, the corner
Oh,
for the Seahawks.
yeah. Yeah, UTSA, man. Yeah, Tariq Woolen is like 4'2", what, 4'2", 3",
4.2 and 3. I think he already ran 4.27.
4'2", 7".
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what do you run? You getting down like
I
that?
don't do 40. I do track times.
Okay. All right. So what's your fastest? So I've been giving you track times,
Yeah.
what I think are your track times. So what's your fastest 100 meter, your fastest 200 meter?
My fastest 100 is 10.6. My fastest 200 is 21.4.
21.4. So you picking them up, put them down. Any visions, thoughts, or aspirations of running track in college, or is that done?
I had scholarship offers for track like South Carolina stuff like that, but I'm probably not. It's a lot.
I hear
I feel
you.
like track was more. I was blessed to be good at track, but I feel it was more of a tune-up. It was time like you can. My speed shows in-game speed. Like some people don't have in-game speed. Mine truly shows in-game speed.
Okay. All right. And then I know, and you mentioned this before, but I can't remember the exact stat. You said you were like an inch or two off the long jump for Noah Lyles. Is that? Can
Oh
you?
no, I got it, and then but I scratched it like an inch or two. Like after like I landed and turned around, she smiled and threw the flag up, and I was like, dang, it was my last jump too.
So it
I
was.
definitely could get it. If I did outdoor that year, I could have got it, but I kind of got away from track because we had problems with the team. The coach that I originally had was not there no more, so it was just I was stuck in some places.
So you had beaten Noah Lyles' long jump record.
Yes, sir.
So like I said, freakish athlete right there. So as we look ahead, and we're talking to Shamari Earls here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 WTKA, online at the big1050.com. Give us the outline. When do you get to Michigan? What's the timeline look like?
I was supposed to move in this weekend, but we had problems with my graduation letter, so I'm graduated, but I'm gonna move in the 18th and I'll start practice the 20th.
Move in the 18th, start practice the 20th. So you ready to get going and ready to get rolling
Yes,
in
sir.
Michigan uniform, man. Wow. So how how your how your mom and dad, are they already Mamas don't like their babies to go away from home, and they prepare for you to leave. How's that going?
My dad's been ready for me to go. My mom is kind of the same, but my mom's been wishy washy. One minute she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready to get you out of here. It's been 18 years." 'Cause I'm the youngest sibling, or one minute she's like, "I'm not ready for you to go," or "Can I come with you?" Because they're staying for 3 4 days after I get there. They're gonna watch me practice the 20th, and they're gonna leave. I think that Saturday or Friday.
All right. So a couple more before we let you go. That game Saturday, man, beating Ohio State. First of all, your reaction to the game, and second of all, have you already adopted that feeling, that dislike, that disdain for the Buckeyes? Have you started to feel that yet?
I've been Celtics. Growing up, Ohio State was my dream school. Watching Denzel Ward and them play. But the coach hit me one time, and he says he's gonna offer me or get back to me. He never got back to me, and then they offer like two other kids this and that. So I was like, dang, like I'm not good enough for my dream school. And then eventually I got offered from Georgia and Michigan, so I was like, it's better. And then I was watching the game at a bowling alley because I was with my sister bowling, and I was hyped. And when I saw that final drive, it was my turn, and I'm just like watching. I was celebrating. But that game was hype. Like I really did not expect us to do that well. A house receiving core, but the DB, like I said, they stepped up really big. D line got a lot of pressure with Mason Graham and number 78 Grant. They did really good. Offense that they did better than I thought they would too. But the
Yeah.
game was overall, I was really excited. I was happy. I was in the bowling alley. They thought I was crazy.
And yeah, we talked a lot about Coach Morgan. Before we let you go, cannot let you go without talking about Coach Moore, because it starts with Coach Morgan, but then ultimately the head man himself. What about your connection with Coach Jerome Moore?
It's the same thing. He was persistent. Me and my dad talk a lot. Me and him. I just got off the phone with him not too long ago, like an hour after I signed. But I still been seeing Coach Morgan. We really talk about anything. We relate. I'm close to both the kids, stuff like that. It's really just a whole family thing.
Well, Shamari, hey man, it's been a pleasure to watch your journey and to watch your rise, to see it come full circle. Because I remember the visit, I was like, man, I think this dude is about to come to Michigan. And then and then the Georgia visit happened, and it is Georgia. I get it.
Mhm.
But then I was not surprised. I was not surprised when they came back full circle. So congratulations on becoming a Wolverine, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks a lot. That
Thank
is
you.
Shamari Earls.